I bought 11 PlayStation Portables from DK Oldies, and they all came broken. But I knew that when I purchased them. And in this video, I'm going to show you how many of those consoles were actually fixable and what it took to fix them. At the time of that purchase, DK Oldies was simply a one-stop shop for all of your retro video game needs, and they did sell at a premium price. But they were also blowing up on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and so when I saw the opportunity to buy these consoles, I thought it would be interesting to see what this company passes on. After all, their videos show that they are capable of refurbishing consoles. At what point do they look at a console and say, I can't do anything with this, let's just get rid of it? This is before everyone got up in arms about DK Oldies' refurbishment policies, or lack thereof as it would seem. But that doesn't change the fact that I still wanted to see what DK Oldies would pass on as far as consoles are concerned, and I wanted to see if these were fixable at all. Of the 11 PlayStation Portables that DK Oldies sent me, 5 of them were the 1001 series, 3 of them were the 2000 series, and 3 of them were the 3000 series. I'm just going to go over the 1000 series today because that's all I got parts in for right now. But if you're interested and want to see how the other ones turn out, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel, and maybe drop a comment telling me that that's a video that you're interested in, because then I can prioritize it over the other half a dozen projects that I'm working on right now. So I took a look at each individual unit and started off with just their cosmetic condition. You know, did they have their thumbstick? How scratched was the faceplate and the UMD cover's little silver ring? Did the UMD drive pop open? Then I moved on to actually booting up the system, making sure there was sound, looking at the LCD screen obviously, and then tested the buttons to make sure they were doing what they were supposed to do. From there, I tested the Wi-Fi toggle switch. It's pretty common that these toggle switches go bad or just get dirty, but I was just making sure that I could turn the wireless card on and off at will. At that point, I'd open up the UMD drive, stick a game in, make sure the game boots, insert a Memory Stick Pro Duo, and made sure the data could be read from and written to the memory stick. Then I'd start a game and test the speakers, the headphone jack, look for any kind of stick drift, and test the buttons during gameplay. Finally, I tested the USB port and made sure that the unit could be connected to my computer via USB, and that everything functioned as it was supposed to. Each of these units had multiple things wrong with them, which adds to the overall cost of repair with additional parts and the turnaround time taking longer. So I could understand why DK Oldies would not want to fix those consoles. But even before you get to the repairs that were needed to get these consoles working again, their exteriors were all in pretty rough shape. The DK Oldies website lists that you can purchase PlayStation Portables in good condition or cosmetically flawed, and I think that the overall condition of these systems doesn't even fit in the cosmetically flawed category. They were in much worse shape than that. But scratches and scuffs aside, all of the units had multiple things that they need repaired on them. 2 of them needed new Wi-Fi switches. That repair is difficult to do because you basically need to pull the entire PSP apart to get to that switch so that you can solder a new one on. 2 of the units needed a new LCD screen, 1 of them didn't read games at all, 1 unit was missing an eject button, and 2 of them were missing thumb caps, and 1 or 2 of them also had some form of stick drift. Again, nothing was terrible, but repairing 2 or 3 things on each of these systems is really going to start cutting away at your margins. I'll tell you how many PlayStation Portables I was able to fix while we rip one apart and take a look at what goes into doing some repairs. There are 6 screws on the back of a PlayStation Portable 1000, 4 of which are easy enough to spot, but 2 of them are under the warranty sticker. And you know what? I tried saving some of the warranty stickers on these consoles, but it is so not worth it. I know that a lot of people like that, but what's the point? There's no warranty. Admittedly, when I was younger, I saw the value in trying to save the warranty stickers, but I really don't anymore. And while I kind of see that you're basically trying to preserve the original console, I also see where it could be considered deceitful to make it look as if you were never in the console in the first place. So if you're just fixing your own stuff and you want to save the warranty sticker, then go ahead. But for me, I just blow right through them. Anyway, then there's 1 screw on the bottom of the console that connects the faceplate to the base of the unit, and so you're actually removing 7 screws in total. With the faceplate off, you have access to the Home, Start, Select button panel, as well as the LCD. So believe it or not, if you're replacing the LCD, this is as far as you need to go to disassemble the PlayStation. There's a metal frame that the front button panel is clipped to the outside of. You need to get something between the panel mount and the frame to pop the button panel off and disconnect its ribbon cable. The LCD is connected to the same metal frame, just on the inside. And the same as the button panel, you need to get something in there to create separation to pop the screen out, and then the screen has 2 ribbon cables connecting to the PlayStation. The metal bracket has the UMD door latch, and 6 screws hold that bracket in place. Removing that exposes the next layer of the PlayStation, and that's where you can access the arrow buttons and the action buttons, each of which are on their own module, connected to the PlayStation with a ribbon cable. It's important to note that the action button board is also connected to the right button, which is just a delicate ribbon cable and is affixed to the console with a light adhesive. The left button is connected to the arrow buttons, but you don't need to do any kind of prying. It's removed with the module. From here you have the motherboard, and if you'd like to pull it out, you have to unplug the left and right speakers, the UMD drive, the DC jack, and give yourself some slack with the Wi-Fi cable that's stretched across the board. You can then remove the board. You have to pay attention to the USB connector and the Wi-Fi toggle switch, both of which are connected to the housing. And this is when I replaced the Wi-Fi toggle switch on the consoles that needed them. This is the underside of the motherboard. It's possible that the toggle switches were just dirty and I could have cleaned them, but given that I had already gone through the process of removing this board, and new Wi-Fi toggle switches are extremely cheap, I thought it best just to go ahead and flip out the old one with a new one. We've almost got this completely disassembled. 2 screws hold on a metal shield which covers the UMD drive and the memory stick and Wi-Fi adapter board. And then just one more screw and a piece of plastic are the only things getting in your way from removing that board. To remove the UMD drive, you need to take off the UMD door, which is not as easy as this video makes it look, and then remove the 4 screws connecting the drive to the housing. Okay, so you don't need to disassemble the entire PlayStation in order to remove the UMD drive. That just happens to be the last thing that I removed from it. You can pull it out much earlier after you've disconnected the ribbon cables from the motherboard. I also did not completely tear down each one of these consoles. This particular one was very gross, and I wanted to make sure that it got a thorough cleaning. So I actually ripped apart the entire console, and by that, I mean everything. When you're refurbishing something, you have to consider the cost of parts, but also the cost of your time, to decide how much of both you're going to put into a unit. So not every console was cleaned to this degree. But on that note, I did clean every single console as well. I cleaned all the button contacts, and anything that looked like it could use a spritz from some contact cleaning solution. Outside of the general wipe down that all the outer shells got, the buttons and the membranes were all removed and scrubbed with warm soapy water so that they were nice and squeaky clean. I think I already mentioned it, but all of these units ended up getting a brand new faceplate as well. Just feel like the old ones were too scratched up, and their condition was really going to affect user experience. Finally, once everything was reassembled, all of the units got buffed out on the back, and then I rubbed a very light layer of graphene coating onto it to give it an extra shine, and it really turned out great. They look fantastic. I don't know about you guys, but that felt like a lot of repair talk, and I didn't even cover every single part, but I'm not gonna. If there's something you want to know about, leave me a comment and I'll respond there. Of the 5 1000 series PlayStation Portables, I was able to fix 4 of them. This one I did not fix. And it's not that it's not fixable, it's that it just wasn't cost effective to fix it. It had a few minor things wrong with it, but its big issue was that it does not read UMD discs. It needs a new drive. I did make an attempt at repairing the existing UMD drive, but even then, at best, it sometimes reads the discs. So considering what I paid for the units, and considering the cost of all the parts that would be needed to bring this back to normal, and the fact that a few of these other units needed specialty parts, I decided to make this guy a donor unit, and I think I'm going to mod this one, because it is fully functional outside of not being able to read the UMDs. I will put the new faceplate on it, but I'll probably remove the UMD drive and figure out a way to stick a bigger battery in there and just turn this into like an emulation machine. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Why would DK Oldies pass on these consoles here? I'm going to go ahead and say that the bottom line was cost. If you look at the DK Oldies website, they actually have a page that is dedicated to what they will pay for certain things. The PSP 1000 series is not on there right now, but the 2000 series is, and they will give you $80 for your system with the charger included. So I'm going to pretend that DK Oldies would offer $60 for the 1000 series with a charger. If I average out what I spent on aftermarket parts to get 4 of these units up and running, it's about $22 a unit. I'm just going to call it 20. And then you have to factor in the cost of the technician. I have no idea what a technician makes. I'm just going to guess $15 an hour. And then to get each unit repaired and cleaned, I'm going to again kind of average and estimate that it's about 2 hours of labor to do what I did to these consoles. So totaling all of that, we're at $110. They would obviously have to sell this unit as a good condition system, which they sell for $180 on their website. So they're looking at a profit at about $70, but we still have not factored in the cost to ship the item and any additional costs incurred in case there are returns and warranty repairs. But it's all kind of a moot point because we know based off of DK Oldies YouTube videos that they don't do this level of repair to their consoles. I just thought it might be fun to speculate. Let's instead turn our attention to how great these consoles turned out. Aren't they absolutely beautiful? I am super happy with these results. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Remember, if you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like on YouTube. That would help me out a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to leave a comment letting me know what you want to see next on this channel. Just as a reminder, I've still got 6 more PlayStation Portables that we could fix. Let me know if you want to see the one that we didn't fix turned into a custom modded emulation handheld, or maybe you want to hear defense for DK Oldies refurbishment practices or lack thereof. I've actually got a couple arguments that I think are pretty good, and I have not seen them yet on other YouTube channels. Anyway, that's it. I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.